This is it. Those are the promised buffs to the Leopard 1, to the STB-1, to the AMX 30B apparently, and nerfs to the 430U and the 430 in general. I have to straight up say that I will be biased this game. Not only did I work a lot in stream and it didn't work out for me with free marking a certain tank called EBR 105. Also, it is important to note that Leopard 1 is like one of the tanks which I love. Like, I play a lot of games. I used to play a lot of games in it until it just was worth it anymore to play. It is my third most played tank with almost 700 games and almost 70% or 68% win rate. Close to 69. Yeah, boy. But yeah, it's a matter which is, it feels like burning open new old wounds or old scars, tearing open old scars. And the buffs they showed us here, or the changes rather, I call them rather changes, are, in my opinion, again, opinionated with you here, they miss the target by miles as the Leopard 1 misses in game. Horribly bad it misses. And let's just first go through the buffs, or the changes rather, and have a look, and then I tell you what I would have liked to see from a Leopard 1. Because I want to note, Leopard 1 is in real life a sniping tank. They said fuck all armor because it was no use anyway to use any armor because heat rounds penetrated you without any problems anyway. It had a primitive gyroscope which helped stabilizing the gun. It was not perfect, but at least it was there. So yeah. First, they're changing or nerving the hull traverse by a whopping 6 degrees, which is not that bad. Like, it's actually a big nerf. Then they give it 20 damage per minute more, which is laughable small, by the way. They give the standard penetration, or standard shells, which also will be AP. You can see here the changes which they plan to do with the armor, or with the penetration of shells, or the shells rebalance in general. They give it AP as standard and APCR as premium rounds. It loses DPM, it gains DPM, and it gains a little bit of penetration rate to 278, meaning it will be easier for you to retain that penetration rate over distance because it's AP. If they still stay with their words. But then again, just to put that into context, this tank right here has 268 millimeters of penetration at 100 meters and 258 at 500 meters. So over a span of 500 meters, which is like the largest or the highest distance which you will be shooting at enemies, you lose 10 millimeters of penetration with APCR rounds, which is laughable, small, and non-relevant, basically. For that, you lose, though, heat rounds, which have 330 millimeters overall penetration, and you even lose 50 millimeters of penetration. So, yeah, the premium shells will be less effective at range. You will also lose, on standard shells, a little bit of shell velocity, but you gain a lot on premium rounds. You get 440 meters per second, which is still worse than the K91, which has 1,700. But it's still a big plus and will help you snipe those pesky EBR cockroaches. And now here comes the biggest problem, in my opinion, which basically just kills this tank to me. Like, they clearly never played the Leopard 1 themselves. They opted out to give it more alpha, 420 to precise, and 510 for AG, which is again laughable because your AG is basically useless or near to useless with, what is it, 53 millimeters of penetration or 48 millimeters of penetration? Let me see, 53 millimeters of penetration. If you think about it, the EBR has 40 millimeters of frontal armor, so your AG is basically useless. If it would go up to 70, then you could use it. But then again, if you think about it, this tank over here has with HE 530, and this will also have 510, so there's not a big difference, even though the caliber is quite big. So you don't really gain a lot. That's what I wanted to say, basically. What the problem is, you lose in rate of fire. Even though you get a small bump in DPM, you lose in rate of fire. You gain better accuracy on the move and during turret traverse, apparently. Or hull traverse, excuse me. You get 0.01 meters more accurate, and you gain 0.2 seconds more aim time. The last one being great, the second one being laughably useless. And I know I already said it, I'm still working on a video, and yes, it's coming. Here's a peek out of the German video. So basically, blue is, well, what is it? 430U or is it Leopard 1? It's 430U. Green is Leopard 1. And one thing you should notice, yes, 430U was not that accurate, but for it being 0.08% or 0.08 meters less accurate, it's a freaking joke. Because why should I now take a gun which is so much more accurate when I still will hit the majority of my shots without any problem? So even giving the Leopard 1 0.01 more accuracy will not change this problem. The only thing to give the Leopard 1 an accurate gun would be to straight up say, you know what, fuck it, give it 0.25 base accuracy. Because that is what you could work with when you are talking about a sniper tank. And the Leopard 1 is at the moment the lonely sniper tank in the game on tier 10. When you think about it, K91 has a turret with 220mm and upwards armor. GG. You lose in hit points 100, which could make or break your game. You get a little bit more turret traverse, you gain 5 km per hour top speed, and you lose 3 km per hour reverse speed. And then again, I once again have to say, what the fuck? Like, why do we have to lose the reverse speed? I don't really see why this is necessary. Like, this can actually kill you pretty quickly when you are missing those reverse speeds right there. 140 has the same, K91 has the same, and the 430U is slightly worse. But again, I like, it's not a laughing matter, but I don't know what to say anything else except that those buffs are straight up garbage. Like, honestly, if you think about how they buffed the 430 into 430U back in the days, or introduced the 268, or even gave small buffs to the turret armor of the 140, it's laughable what they are willing to give and take to the Leopard 1 to make it balance. Please do not forget, Leopard 1 is at 48% win rate, 48.5% win rate on the EU cluster. Just so you know, it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's the 6th worst tank when it comes to win rate in the game at the given moment. Where meanwhile, other tanks like the 430U, for example, oh god, do I love this tank, is at 52% when we round it up win rate. And the 140 is slightly better balanced, I guess, with 50.61, but it's probably also due to the fact that a lot of new players have this tank. So, in overall, in my personal opinion, those buffs, or changes rather, I can't call them buff because it's a joke, are absolutely garbage. What I wanted to see for a Leopard 1, or my biggest problem when I played the Leopard 1, is that it still feels inaccurate. It has a laughably long aim time while still being rather inaccurate, and it lacks the opportunity to put out follow-up shots. It has good DPM, don't get me wrong, but it's still 300 short of AMX 30B, which is still hefty if you think about it. 3.792, or if you round up to 3.8, and our Leopard 1 at the moment sits at 3.3. Yes, we don't have vents, which could lead us to a little bit more, but then again, like, wow. It might be 3.4 by max, so it's still 300 more, or 400 more, because we can round it up to 3.8 on the AMX 30B. So, yeah, what I wanted to see is lose 390 alpha to this tank and give it 360. It sounds weird at first, but my biggest problem with the Leopard 1 is that you so often miss a shot, and it is ridiculous annoying when this happens. And at the moment, with its current reload, yes, 7 seconds is nice, but it still lacks reload time. It still lacks to pump out those follow-up shots. A Leopard 1 should be a mean machine when it comes to range combat. And again, with the lack of accuracy differences, yeah, it's not really a go-to thing. Yes, again, lose the 420 alpha, put it down to 360, give it maybe a 100 DPM buff, and give it a much better reload time from 7 seconds to 6 seconds or something, and give it a goddamn 0.25 accuracy. Because this is what you could work with. You don't need any of those buffs right here. You don't need anything. Give it less alpha, rather faster shots per minute, and more accuracy. The rest of those buffs are obsolete and straight up garbage. We still have a tank which has worse DPM than the K91, which has better camouflage as far as I know, and has better DPM, has a turret which actually works, and now get this. The AMX 30B basically gets the... It's so frustrating. The AMX 30B basically gets what Leopard 1 should be. What they did is they give it more penetration on both shell types, which is neat if you think about it. They give it more shell velocity, they give it much better accuracy, they give it better hull traverse speed, slightly longer aim time, and slightly less top speed. But please remember, guys, okay? This is the, if it would load, the Leopard 1 turret with astounding 100 to 70 millimeters armor on the turret. Maybe 250 if you are really unlucky. But it's mostly due to auto bounces like here, ricochet. The AMX 30B has a standpoint of 300mm base turret armor. Yes, it has the huge cupola, which is, it's basically not it's cancer. But yeah, this tank has a base 300mm of frontal turret armor. And it basically is now in every single way once again better than the Leopard 1, except for accuracy and speed. And the buffs to the 30B are nice. Like, I can't complain. I might play it more because the the bad penetration rate and bad accuracy really were a drawback to it. So this will basically just make this tank so much better. And now we get to the STB-1, which I think got the best out of it. Yes, it loses penetration rate, not on premium shells. For some reason, it gets the 360 HP per shot gun. And again, please do not forget, this tank as well, this STB-1, hold your horses, my dear fellow viewers, has good turret armor. At least somewhat workable compared to 76mm of the Leopard 1. Hooray. Gonna just have to find. Also, one thing before we get into details, this tank also will get the hydropneumatic suspension, meaning it will have around 12 degrees or 11 degrees gun depression. But again, this turret can get to 230 minimum to around, 300, 250, 280 millimeters of armor frontally. That's fucking good if I think about it. Yes, the good thing is now they changed its alpha per minute and gave it less accuracy, better aim time though, better HP, make it a little bit slower forward, but faster backwards, gave it more HP to ton ratio, which is actually pretty fucking strong if I do have to say. Like the HP to ton ratio goes up to 25. Like that's not little, that's a lot of HP additionally. They get better aim time, and here comes the biggest bummer to me, which is once again another big fucking fist into my gut. And they changed its accuracy on the move from 0.16, I think, to 0.09. Alright, yeah. Which is basically what the Object 140 has. I just have to go back. Okay, 140, where is it? There it is. So the 140 is one of the best accurate snapshot tanks in the game. It has 0.08 accuracy on the move and tank traverse. Turret is a little bit worse with 0.1. And they changed this down to 0.09, which is almost Object 140 level. Where meanwhile, our Leopard 1, hold your horses, gets 0.16. Oh my god, so overpowered, please nerf. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm a little bit too sarcastic for this video. I'm sorry that it's incredible. Yeah, it's the Leopard 1 is a tank which I love to play. I used to love it. And they didn't nerf it or anything. The problem is just simply the meta changed to tanks being and going hull down or being for 30 US with retarded turret and frontal hull armor. The same goes for the Foch 55. They just simply nerfed it to smithereens. But the Leopard 1 used to be one of my most favorite tanks, and the problems I see with it is that simply you cannot rely on this tank's accuracy. That's the problem. I don't try to sound stupid or something, but yes, I have 77.8 accuracy. My Object 140 has a better accuracy because I can also play more aggressive with it. Even our goddamn EBR, where I shot so many shots on the move, has 76% accuracy. And I don't try to shoot worse with a Leopard 1. It's just that. It's just that the accuracy is bad. Yes, the K91 is actually even worse for some reason. I don't know why. But yeah. I honestly feel like wargaming, when this was their target for making the Leopard 1 better, they hit over there, out of frame on another room. They hit out of frame on another room, their target, or their target audience at least. I think those buffs are, no, changes, not buffs, you can't call them buffs, are absolute complete garbage. And I do hope, I'm happy to see that they got showed to us so early that we can rebel against them and say, no, this is not what we want. This is absolute shenanigans, absolute stupidity. The only, and I think the only redeeming feature for 1.5.1 is that they nerfed the 430 and the 430U. Which in my opinion is absolutely great, because those tanks definitely nerf it. Again, you could see 52% win rate on tier 10. The one thing, everything of this is amazing. The one thing I think is lacking though is nerfing its hull traverse speed. Because again, do not forget, this is a fat fucking tank. Like, this turret is fat as fuck, and I don't think that 10 tons is what this would be when it has 300 millimeters of armor plating frontally. Like, the tank is way too light for what it is. I think 42 tons is, yeah. If you think about it, Leopard 1 has 40 tons. Holy shit. Hey, fucking Russian hover tank. What the fuck? All my engineering senses are saying, how the fuck is this actually possible? The point is, what I want to say, give him fucking less traverse speed. God fucking damn it. Like, let it lose. Make it go down to 50 degrees per second. Not 60. It's 52 at the moment. Make it down that you have with a good crew 50, like 45 or 48. That might be better. Not, like, just so you know, with this is 52 degrees per second. And basically 113, which is a 430U, has 46. So we could, we could easily put it down to 40 and make it still balanced. 42 would be great, I think. That's what I would see for the 430U. It still has its armor, still has its stupid turret, it still has its 440 alpha gun, but it's not turning that fast anymore because, again, as you think about it, it's a fucking heavy tank and it drives like a medium because herp-a-derp. Yeah. Again, guys, I'm actually sorry that this video was very opinionated and not just pure stats. It's just that it's saddening to see what they're doing to the Leopard 1. Because, yes, it's nice to make it the tier 10 fastest medium tank! Exclamation mark! Yes, it doesn't fucking matter when we have World of Corridor. Which in a lot of maps is the problem. Yeah. Also, apparently they buffed its HP to ton ratio, power to weight ratio, but I couldn't find anything about this here, on the stats at least. Yeah. There's nothing else to say. Let me know in the comment section what you think about those buffs, or changes rather. Again, not buffs, changes. And yeah, thank you so much for your attention. Thank you so much that you kept with me, and I'll talk to you all in another video. Thank you so much.